I have not really been on my story just like talking in a while because I was really sick. I had mono, which is like a major infection in your body, and I had it for 6 weeks. So I was pretty much just laying on the couch, not really doing too much for 6 weeks. But I was learning about a topic that I didn't really know much about before called intuitive eating, and it has completely transformed my life. And I had a feeling that someone out there needs this message. So I was like, you know what? I'm just on my story and talk about it a little bit because something in me tells me that someone else needs to hear this too. And by no means do I pretend to be an expert in this category. If anything, I feel like I have so much more to learn and I've only scratched the surface, but it is one of the most healing and transformative things I've ever learned about. So I just wanted to share a couple thoughts about intuitive eating with you guys today because I don't know, I feel that I should in my soul. So what is intuitive eating? It's hard for me to explain because there's a lot of different facets to it, but it's basically the opposite of what we get in our modern culture, which is what they call diet culture and intuitive eating. Basically, we're bombarded with all of these messages in the media that we need to be dieting, we need to be losing weight, we need to look a certain way, we need to be thin, and it's so toxic and negative. And I feel like I was fed all of these lies by the media that I never really even questioned. I just kind of had this negative mindset. Like, if I gained weight, I felt bad about myself. If I lost weight, I felt good. Like, I was controlled by a message that I wasn't even really aware of. And I started to develop some very unhealthy habits towards food, towards my body, my weight, that were very subtle. And then I thought, oh, I'm a healthy person. Like, I have a great relationship with food. Until I realized that I really didn't. And I started to dig into this, and anyway, I think my biggest thing was I developed sort of like a moral attitude about food. Like, I really saw healthy, quote unquote, healthy foods as morally good and unhealthy foods as morally bad. So I felt like anytime I ate junk food, quote unquote, I was a bad person. Or if I ate, green juice or a smoothie or kale or whatever, like, I'm a healthy person and I'm a good person. And it's like, the truth is, food is just food. That is one of the most mind-blowing concepts to me. Food is just food. It does not make you a morally good or bad person. You're not bad for eating a donut. You're not good for eating a salad. Like, that's just such a toxic mindset that I think we need to dig into more. Yes, certain foods are more nutritious and they can heal your body. Certain foods can cause inflammation and they can hurt your body more. But I think assigning so much moral meaning to it is actually same thing goes for our bodies and our weights. Being a certain size or a certain weight does not make you a better person than being a different size or different weight. Like, that's something that I'm realizing, like, I just had so much guilt and shame if I went above a certain weight, and that is so toxic. Like, that is not the meaning of the word healthy. I'm developing a new definition of the word healthy that I'm learning from all this stuff that I've been researching. Healthy is, in my opinion, from what I'm learning, your body is functioning. The things in your body, the different processes are functioning properly. That is what health is. It's not looking thin or skinny, because the truth is there's a lot of people out there that may look very thin, but they might not actually be a very healthy person in the grand scheme of things. And vice versa, there might be someone in a larger body who is actually very healthy, and we might judge someone based on how they look that they're healthy or not. And that's just one of the other things that I've been learning lately is we compare ourselves, and not even necessarily to other people, but to past versions of ourselves. So seeing a picture of myself in the past, and I'm like, oh, I looked thinner, or I looked this certain way, that I would feel bad about myself how I am currently. And the truth is, your body is always going to be changing throughout your life. The aging process, your metabolism goes up and down, your hormones, there's so many factors to your body that you're not supposed to remain the same weight or the same look or body shape throughout your whole life. There's literally so many different for 6 weeks. I couldn't move. I wasn't even allowed to exercise because my spleen was enlarged. My doctor told me that I couldn't. So I definitely started to gain a little bit of weight, and I noticed that for sure. I could feel it. So I went shopping for jeans yesterday, and I totally went up a size. And when I first saw that on the tag, I was like, I was so triggered. That was something in the past that I would have freaked out about. Oh my gosh, I'm a size bigger. This is horrible. I need to start eating dinner. I need to exercise a bunch. I would have started freaking out and planning for how I was going to get back to where I was. my new mindset is, you know what? I was sick for 6 weeks, really sick. And I'm getting so much healthier. And this is a process. This is a journey. I accept myself where I am. I love myself where I am. This is okay. I'm going to focus on, if I'm going to exercise, it's going to be focusing on getting stronger. If I'm going to focus on eating, it's going to be eating foods that make me feel good. But I'm not going to shame myself for eating the food I love, because that's part of life. You can't just only eat healthy meals. Like, you need to have some type of enjoyment in your diet, because food is fun and it's never not going to be fun. And I'm so tired of shaming myself for foods that I love to eat, because there's literally no point in doing that. Literally my mind is blown. So if you're watching this and you're curious about what I'm talking about, honestly, there's many people on YouTube and in the world who can explain this way better than I can. The best resources, I would say, there's a book called Intuitive Eating. I have not read it yet, but I'm very familiar with the principles at this point, and I'm planning on reading it soon. So I will put the link to that book in a later slide. And also, if you just go on YouTube and search intuitive eating, there's so many videos of people, especially like dietitians, talking about it, nutritionists. Like, it's so awesome to learn from people that are really educated in this, and it's been mind-blowing to me. I feel like my self-compassion and love has gone through the roof, and I just feel so much more at peace with myself and food and my body. I know I still have a long way to go, but it's just been so encouraging for me. So I really hope this is helpful for you guys, if any of you relates to what I'm saying.